Volunteers must adhere to all municipal rules, ordinances, policies, and procedures. Additionally, volunteers have to follow the regulations of the rules and policies of the insurance company. All insurance rules and regulations must be followed, even if the company's donating goods and services. So I just want to clarify that. Any questions?
Are we gonna need to sign some kind of waiver or something?
I think we're working on that. We were working on a form to fill out for everything we do, like wine and cheese, thing like that, and getting feedback from council on the form now with the correct ad. Yes, so.
Any other discussion?
I got one more. And under new business last night, Jim asked who paid, it should have been Mr. Gaskin that asked who paid for the new job box for the turf field at Millennium Park. And Ms. Dolanor informed everyone that the money was used from the grant from Millennium Park. So that's the two corrections. We'll talk about them tomorrow, Andy. Where to plug them. That's all I got.
Okay, there was a motion in the second, so all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes. Any residents? I don't know if anyone's a resident here.
Very.
Jack, you might need to get another table.
Gotcha. I give it a very. I'm born between two residents.
No residents, so we will turn it over to Mr. Stover and his director's report.
This is the recreation department report. Everyone has input on it, so I changed a little. Liz did a fantastic job with Notice Call Tuesday. She's sending out surveys for the vendors. I think it went great. Yeah, how did the vendors, I mean, you talking, were they happy?
I think they were pretty happy. I think customers were happy. Moving forward, we're going to just try to get more variety in the trucks. So that's something I've been working on is new contacts and reaching out and trying to get something a little different here. I'm trying. They were booked for the spring, so I planned on reaching out to them early for the fall. Yeah.
Farmers market began yesterday with our lovely spring weather.
Beautiful.
There's 30 full-time vendors, 16 half season and 7 monthly vendors. And we're going to continue to promote No Talk Tuesday at the farmers market. And they go, hey, look, you did the videos yesterday. Look, we got Logan's Family Farms over here. We have Simmons Farms who did a great job on the video. So, banner report. We have 49 banners at all the fields. The goal was 50 every year. I'm still waiting to hear back from the Republican committee. I talked to, I can't think of her name. She said they're in, but she hasn't sent a check.
Rich Armstrong.
Yeah. Leanne Dresnich said she's in, but hasn't sent a check, and same with football. It's the Pittsburgh Football Club, so I'm taking them. We should have around 52 at every field. That'll be the biggest we've ever had. So, the new recreation software rec desk is ready to roll out. Hopefully we'll be up Monday, the 8th, next Monday. People can register online or in person. We have one credit card reader now, I do believe.
Yeah, so one of the credit card readers is in. We're just going through the process of setting it up. So it should link directly to the recreation accounts. So we should be able to do memberships, everything on that tab alone. If someone's having issues, they should just be able to pay for it through the card reader now.
I'll be getting a second one.
And we have a kiosk that's set up out front. Drew set it up. They can register there online too.
So, can I start?
Yeah.
Well, for the classes, like if you want to register for a class, can you now use your credit card online?
Yeah, so with the new software, you can actually add your credit card on there and keep it in the bank. So it's encrypted, so no one can actually get into your account or take information. So you can leave it saved into your account, so it's fast checkout going forward.
And when we communicate classes, is that going to be, part of communication on then?
So we're going to have a bunch of rollouts for communications for that. It's in the Chronicles as well about everything's going to be online based. So with that online base, we're pushing out more towards the pay by card instead of paying by cash. So we're trying to move a little bit further away from cash. We'll still take cash and checks, but it's not something we're going to be essentially advocating or throwing out there, which we'll still take it. There's no issue with that. It's just a lot easier for us to take online payments.
You don't want to limit your payment type, but you can go
We leave that online, so this just takes it to the next level.
Yeah.
Chronicles will be delivered to the printer this Friday. We got the email yesterday. So it'll be at the mail house Friday from the printing company. It'll be out next week. Hopefully the printing company turns around to get the post office Monday or Tuesday. But it's mailing house, so. Everyone's favorite thing, the splash pad. You please dates October 10th, tentatively exist.
Splash Park.
Splash Park, I'm sorry. Yeah, Splash Park. The only organized club on there right now is Pacer Track Club. We tried to look at Millennium, but because of foul balls and that, then they'd have to use part of the U12, new U12 field. They couldn't make it work, so. And I do have a call out to the school district if they can use the stadium. The NCAA let me know. We have two new hires starting. Jeff Gavin will be head swim team coach and aquatic supervisor. I sent everyone his bio. I think he'll be really good. He's been in the assistant coach for 10 or 12 years now, so he's really upbeat, outgoing, energetic. And former lifeguard of our Grace Myers is coming back for the summer to be aquatic supervisor once he's on break from Ohio University. So, and we're looking at making assistant supervisor a year-round job because Jeff can only work 28 hours a week to meet the Affordable Care Act. Any part-timer has to be 28 hours a week or less, so we need to get him a little help. Day camp is the last week sold out yet, James?
No, still week 4 is about 5 spots, I think. It's dwindling down.
We hired 2 new camp counselors. We're looking for another one, preferably male, because we only have 1 male on staff, but if we can get another female works to hire, we should be good to go. We started ordering shirts. Starting in June, private pickleball and tennis lessons and clinics. Steve Happy is going to do that for us. James is bringing a new commit to field usage in rec desk. Finals in the MCM happened on April 4th or 14th, 165 participants. Starting next year, we're doing it at the community center.
Yep.
Okay.
Friday nights.
Community clubhouse. Okay.
Did you all do?
What age is it on for?
It's gonna be 5th and 6th grades.
Okay.
Did you all do okay with the volunteers?
Yeah, so I ended up getting, after pushing it out more on social media and through the Beach Jar, it went from about 10 to 12, the first one, to about 16 to 25.
Oh, great.
So I've been getting a lot more volunteers with it, but I still think a lot of people are pushed more away with it because they think that we're a school event, and it's hard if they give their clearances directly to the school. They think the badge is enough, even though we need their clearances in hand. So I think being able, going forward, having it at the community center will differentiate it a little bit, allow people to realize this is a rec department event, which will actually be able to show them that the rec department is actually pushing stuff out, as well as being able to get a little more information regarding other events that we have going on here.
Cool.
Community center staff here, and what's got Josh Parker don't have it on, but Beth and whoever else is out there have it on. We've done some minor policy changes, CPR classes are scheduled, starting spring, summer hours. We're 9 to 8 Monday through Friday, 9 to 6 on Saturdays, and 12 to 6 on Sundays. The first event this month is not part of Park and Play, but it's a great event. It's the Touch and Talk that Public Works does May 21st, right? 12 to 3. So, yeah, bring your kids out to the Public Works complex and have a great time. Our Park and Play is Saturday, June 17th for fitness and fun for all at Village Green from 10 to 12. Friday, June 30th, the Summer Spectacular, Millennium Park, 9:50 or 9:40. July 8th, Identity Crisis at the band, Millennium Park, 6 to 8 p.m. National Night Out is a police function where they interact with the community and get to know the community better. And time on that is to be determined. It's Myers Park. You already have all the fields blocked off, so no one can use them. So Saturday, August 12th is end of summer bash at Simmons Park, 11 to 2. September 2nd, Battle to the Band in Millennium Park Town to be determined. Star parties at Millennium on Friday, September 15th at 7 o'clock. And then on Saturday, October 28th, Wine and Cheese Festival. It's at Park Avenue Community Center from 3 to 7.
Gonna be the names, well, it's the Wine and Food Festival, but the name's gonna be.
We are gonna call it the Booze and Brew Festival and do a Halloween theme.
All right, so, two other notes, junior football's been informed they can't use Park Avenue field until after the last pass. There's just not enough parking spots anywhere. It's, yeah, so they already know they're gonna have to request a stadium for this year until that's completed. That's it. If you look out, if you ride by, you'll see the new playground being constructed outside of the community center. It looks great.
Anything for Chuck? Any more? Hearing none, moving on. Anything from the officers? No. Nothing for me. Standing committees, parks, buildings and grounds, anything tonight? Community outreach? Programming? Anything that I had, I know I mentioned a smart dog park as, which seems to be really trending within other communities and in other states. And I was asked what a smart dog park was, and I had no idea. So it stands for safety, manners, awareness, responsibility, and training. So I'm going to ask, brought that for you.
Or maybe one, I think it's one on the south side. I think there's one on the south side.
But I guess it's a certification that the park gets if they go through that training, that we're considered to be a smart dog park. So
It does not reduce the incidents.
I don't,
It's said, I didn't put the sentence.
yeah, it's supposed to keep it, yeah. So,
Did you want me to talk about that?
yeah, absolutely.
I just know that you were struggling to get coaches at the workshop, so I wanted to put together, I reached out to Molly, our head, and we could brainstorm a ton of ideas, including like different things to put on social media and how to put it out there. I tried to pick in as many dates for like, you know, like maybe showing ourselves at the sports instead of making them come to us, like talking together, coordinating, like I took in some dates and things that like, and the doctor having, they're doing tactical training for their coaches, so all the coaches are gonna be there. Why not show us and talk for 5 minutes about BCA and try to get coaching on that way. We have a coach that took it, she gives a testimonial.
Yeah, I thought it was done really well. I mean, it worked out that the trainer happened to be a baseball softball guy, so it was nice, but it wasn't geared towards specific sports, but it really was about the kids and even stuff. I mean, I've been coaching for 20 some years, and just to hear some of it again out loud and get some other ideas on how to work with the kids, and just to really understand that when we grew up, things are different now, and dealing with kids now is definitely different. So I thought it was really well.
So I think if we could get coaches like Randy to say things on social media, like, you know, or,
Testimonials would be-
Get your coaches,
Get the coaches, get it out there.
they give us quotes.
Yeah, we had quite a few of our coaches go, but we can get more quotes if you like.
Yeah, so lots of things like that. Then I try to find all of the hashtag holidays. I don't know if you guys heard of those, like, you know, National Youth Sports Day, National Volunteer Recognition Day. We shouldn't let any of those go by without like posting something about PTA. And I think the idea is not that we're just talking about PTA, we're actually talking about the culture shift we want to make here about them, right? So like we've adopted the Children's Bill of Rights in sports. We're trying to get more kids back into sports. We're trying to improve their well-being in lots of other ways. So let's promote the whole thing. So I think what we're missing is the community doesn't know what we're doing. And we've been investing in this. This looks really good for us. I think this is a really good thing. Let's sell it. And I think that's what I wanted to put here. It's like we need to just like hammer this home that we're doing it so then people want to show up, that we don't have to like twist their arms together. There's some strategies at the end to twist arms, but I know we didn't want to go there yet. So, and then we talked about some incentives, and I know like, I think we've been some discussion about field time and things like that, you know, even Village Green for soccer, if we could get that open for them, you know, that might be a huge incentive for them to get their coaches there. So can we talk about, I know it's just something to discuss. What was the other big ones? Oh, so one of the big things that I was thinking too, I think we heard a lot at the organizational meeting that there's not a lot of communication between the boards. And how if we maybe, I looked over at Upper St. Clair, they have a community sports board. So like there's one president and they run the board and then every organization is underneath that. I was thinking we have the Field Coalition. What if we expanded that a little bit more so that we get all the organizations in the room and things that were talked about is maybe we can get them discounts on uniforms. We can get more kids involved in multiple sports, just getting more coordination between the sports. Then it's just a one point of contact for you. One point of like everybody in Bethel will know, hey, if I want my kid to play a sport in Bethel, I go to this place. So I don't know if the sports organizations would be open to that, but it just might be something to kind of help us consolidate, make things better. And that's, so I just thought it might be something to reach out, find out how they do it. That would be a better structure for us to have us all, or not even if it's all under one place, but a little more coordination together. So that's pretty much just it.
Thanks, Kelly. Fields and banners, anything tonight?
I gave the update, director's report.
Anything under special events? Hearing none, moving on, looking for the revenue and disbursement report, looking for a motion to approve the revenue and disbursement report of March 2023. Kelly, second, Bob McCall. Any discussions, additions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. New business.
All right, so
Chuck, yeah, can you kind of, so I know there's been a lot of dialogue on this. There's been a lot of emails back and forth. Some of the executive boards were on the emails. Not everyone was on all the emails. So a lot of you don't know like what's been going on with some of the revisions. First thing that I'd like to say, and I know I spoke to most of the board, and is it Brandy? I'm sorry.
Great.
The challenge grant is something that the rec board put together to help assist with projects in the community. And when this originally came out, it was revised a few times. And the concern of the board was always going to be safety. So from the original one to the revision, and again, not everyone saw it, there were some questions. Sure. And usually what happens when there's questions, we call you guys in, and that would have helped if that was done last month. And unfortunately it wasn't. So we apologize that it's taken this long, because we want to spend the money on good things. I mean, that's the spirit of the challenge grant. That's why it's there. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of that's really was what our intentions were. So Chuck, if you can take a minute and just kind of update, so everyone's aware of what's in front of us tonight.
Bethel Park Baseball, I got that right. Was looking for 4 L screens, and if you've ever been to a Power game or at sea, maybe with their coach, pitch batting practice, standing on the screen and shape like, that's just for 4 of them, 2% is batting cages and 2 for Millennium Park batting cages, right, Evan?
I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 at Millennium and 2 at Simmons. Is that what you're saying?
No, wait, Susie never did talk about the M91 box storage master. It's almost 58 cubic fish weight, where it's be, sorry.
That's it.
And that's when the bought, he signed off on, as they look at it. He said he looked at it on the outside too.
Yeah, the difference between the major difference, in my opinion, between what we have on field map and what BDA or Bethel Park Field map will have it titled. Are proposing now is they have the gas cylinders on them, so there's no slang in the lid. It's, lets itself down, or else you have to push it down. So there's no danger of people's, as long as it lasts. Yeah, you can still finish something in there.
And that was a concern last month.
That was one of the concerns, yeah. And yeah, I did see it. And they were old boxes that I saw, and the closures are still working. So it seems like that'll be okay. And then the other one for this is, I think it's much taller than what we have now.
The 1100, the 111.
What?
The 100, this one, the 100. Yeah.
And they're proposing this one.
Yeah.
They're taller.
They will run out.
Yeah. So I wrote the motion up to $7,000 because we weren't sure how many did beat Park Baseball would need, so we can revise the motion a little bit based on how many we need of, and they can vote on it. And
You guys, we're all for it. We're all about the safety before. But before a spec sheet comes out, we're thinking and we just see a lockbox on an application. We just think that it's the old ones that are already out there. So that was our concern.
Totally.
So,
Well, if I could have a moment, I'm Evan, by the way, Evan Sivitz of Bethel Park Baseball. We had originally put in for sheds. That was the first thing. I think, Brandon, you put in for sheds too. As we talk about trying to do things together, one of the things that come to my mind is something would be sharing the shed, if there was in fact a shed to be had. So to go back to that first one, I'd like to at least voice my opinion that, that would be helpful. You really want to get rid of the boxes altogether, get a shed, let us share the shed.
so a shed fits your needs?
Oh, wait, again, the boxes go away. The boxes go away. I know, I'm sorry, but the boxes would go away. You're asking, we went from let's get rid of the boxes to let's get a new box. And I'm kind of like, that's fine. Hey, we've got money to spend. I'm fine with doing it, but.
Was your original application for a shed?
Yeah.
Barry, did you just approve a shed at the high school?
Yeah, we did.
I can resend it out to you guys. I have the original.
Years ago, it's gonna be this, would have said it's no more sheds on field, like Parks Avenue.
And that's again, we'll go with this because I know this will fit the things that we have. But I mean, if you're getting sheds or these two, where exactly are they
Where
going?
are they gonna go? My concern was what happens with what's already out there, because we still, like, at most of the fields, we have two, so you have enough to put at least some bags of,
Yes.
chalks. You got your other one for your bases and your other equipment, and they're jam packed, both of them.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Why won't the boxes fill both your needs? I mean, you have that much, what's in there?
Well, okay, that can be the next discussion, like something like this where we can roll the roller in and then we start sharing the field roller, and then we're not having to drop the bags into it, because what's happening is people are, throwing the stuff inside it and it's completely caking the bottom with,
But the shed would
Chalk
off
and-
that, them from Michigan.
Good.
Would that, would it?
Good.
It's one.
People don't take care of things the way they used to,
They
so.
don't take care of the sheds either for guns.
So
Okay.
amongst the members of council and what the policy is and the purpose behind that policy in their sheds.
Anything specific, I know in talking to 10, that they've fallen apart, they've become a collection place for things that shouldn't be there, and that sort of stuff, they're more difficult to maintain. I don't know, Jeff, if you've had any discussions.
So a perfect example is take a look at the one that's up at Miners Field. I mean, this is,
So the one up at Myers has been there for,
15
I
years.
don't know, yeah, probably was way up my
I
time.
think I was in 8th grade.
Then part of ours was to replace that, so part of our grant was to replace that, and then to get us something at Simmons, since we share time with baseball down there. Is there any, it was like, if you're not getting rid of the current sheds, then what is the difference of replacing it
Or upgrade.
like if it's an eyesore, then wouldn't you want to replace it? But if there's no actual course of action for us to drop them now, how long are they going to stay in that same condition?
Right.
well, I think with the money that we're going to spend on the boxes, the sheds would eventually come down.
The amount you're spending on 3 boxes for me was the same, was more than the 2 sheds that we proposed. So, I mean,
We're trying
Yeah.
to standardize it
Yeah.
over all the fields. So,
I guess we're trying to standardize it towards a shed,
right.
and you're trying to standardize it towards.
So we
the
get
box.
it
That-
With the shed.
Well, what we're putting in is a shed with restrooms and concession stands.
Yeah.
That's the business, the only shed, it's not a shed, the buildings are good.
They're building,
They're not
they're,
close to a shed.
that's a
There
building,
was a donation of a shed, non-bought? Yeah.
that's a building. And I don't mean to throw a monkey wrench in the whole thing, I apologize. I feel like,
There was a shed that's donated by, what organization was that?
One of the softballs.
Yeah. So there's a regular shed going on at the high school, Joe. It's not, I know that there's a building project, I'm not talking about that. Are you talking about the one that's from Home Depot, the shed?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Kim provided that.
Right.
Yes, girls softball, as that's, yes, on the field.
And part of the other reason we want this job boxes is the shed became security issues with kids breaking into them. You know, they can pull the wood and doors off and that, so that was, I remember Tim saying that last month.
So I mean, we're in favor of approving whatever your needs are. It's, you know, we're not holding this up. It's just our thing is safety.
Yeah.
And we just sell a job box.
Yeah, I think historically, based on our past meetings, the board was in favor of looking at sheds and supporting sheds.
Because that's what your application originally said.
But since the policy seems to be that no sheds, so then the next option was moving to boxes, and our intention was to make sure that the boxes are as safe as they can be. So.
The other part of that too is that, I mean, those boxes, if the sheds eventually go away, we can't store all of our field line, drive.
Pallets of stuff. There's not like,
The shed,
Yeah.
I mean, we can't fit
Yeah.
rakes, you can't shove rakes into these equipment boxes. I mean, we do have some detachable ones. So it was just a matter of where are we gonna store all this extra stuff we need for the season?
Yeah.
You know, we have people running back and forth to grab more of our chalk to put them in the various boxes. The coaches don't have time to do that, you know, right at game time. So where do we store something at that point?
Well, I think the discussions and directed.
it's moot now. Yeah.
We can only do what we can do. You would have to go to council to get that changed or approved. So I mean, I don't think any of us are in disagreement with you.
No.
It's just that it's not our right or responsibility to make that call.
And I think from council's perspective, we're looking for a recommendation, right? Joe, that we get recommendations from the rec board about this.
So we're recommending a shed, it sounds like maybe then.
Then I guess we'll take it up.
So
I don't think I mean,
So we know there's no new shed, can't replace an existing shed that's already been either.
We're trying to standardize all the field boxes.
Do they make little bigger boxes that would that help solve your problem? I mean, do they come square footage containers, and if you have a 2 or 3 square foot, it might accommodate both your equipment?
I mean, I don't know how much you buy, but we buy pallets of field chalk.
Oh, yeah,
Just
chalk,
load up the
yep.
shed. So I don't think they fit.
Yeah, I said, yeah.
Yeah, whatever you guys.
Yeah, and again, I didn't mean to take it there, but I wanted to go back to at least the time and effort that my volunteers put together and felt that it was right. Now it's the council that has to come up with that, and I guess, you know, however that needs to be looked at, we'll look at that, but.
Not really. Sorry, I could be wrong. Wasn't there another issue that maybe blew in my head? It was like thing about them being the sheds being unsightly for the neighborhoods. That's something we didn't think of.
That's part of it too. That's why we're becoming standardized.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't think that we discussed.
Bill, when a shed's 15, when something's 15 years old, it doesn't look good. I mean, it's just like, the lock boxes are 50 years old down at Simmons. They don't look good either.
6 of them.
And they're not even safe to be on the fields, and they're not even up to codes. So, I mean, I'd like to see us come up with a plan to replace those. So we're taking care of safety, which hasn't even been discussed in any of this conversation.
We can discuss other job boxes at a later date.
I mean, I'm all for approving half of whatever the project is with council's blessing.
So
I mean, our thing was just the safety thing.
what does that mean?
I don't know.
Job boxes.
The job boss.
Yes, and this will probably be job box done in a big part.
But are we to then get rid of all the ones that are not currently safe in this proposal? Because then it wouldn't be enough. Like, there's no way with 4 new boxes, we could replace the 12 we have right now.
We have to talk about that staff, see if we have some money somewhere. This is just for the job boxes that you need for right now.
So this is there isn't affected by this is
What's that?
they're just getting new job boxes, but what's there can stay for now.
So from a challenge grant perspective, we're allowed to, the way it's written, spend up to 15,000. So if you have $30,000 project, technically we could do half of that. So if you're replacing everything, I mean, we only have so much money, you know?
Oh, no, it was more of a question of, are we being asked to get rid of the things we currently have?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, if I have this at Oak Tree, then I'm getting rid of both boxes that are at Oak Tree and consolidating it all into that one right there. So that for Oak Tree, then definitely, I mean, that's ideal for Oak Tree because it's one field. The multi-field facilities are the ones that where it's like, man, you know, again, have the shed. So, but if I'm getting, because our proposal then was to take what, one for Millennium or one for Simmons back and one for Simmons front. Were you doing anything with Simmons with these fields?
Well, originally we were going for the shed at Simmons to help that problem, because I've got a rusted out box on the front, I've got a rusted out box on the back, and I've got two that are basically, they're in the process of, you can't open them in the middle.
Could you think we can share one of, do you think we can share one of these?
If we can share the liners and share.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a matter of who uses whose chalk and play that game? Like, again, we can figure.
We owe you 10 bags, by the way, still, so.
Yes.
Um,
I'm okay with sharing. It's just a matter of communication, making sure we don't have access to those. And then minors, as you know, their story is, I mean, again, I got 3 fields up there, 6 boxes, at least 3 could get replaced.
Yeah, I think I got like 2 at the Simmons and 2 at front, 2 at back, so it's 4 boxes at each. So maybe we can consolidate. What I'd like to suggest, again, I'm just an outsider from the volunteer standpoint here, just like you guys are, is that if we can get together as a committee, some of you guys, me and Brandy and us in council and rec department, whoever, to walk a field and look and see and actually put a real game plan together and a real proposal instead of throwing boxes at it. That would be my favorite thing to see. But I would, maybe we can consolidate boxes. We'd have to talk about that.
Yeah, I think our goal is, we discussed last month, is making sure that we have a cohesive plan for how we want to be replacing, especially, there's so many old boxes that did go or need to be replaced. So having a cohesive idea of what we want to do.
Yeah, but our field people will have to be on the same schedule with sharing the box and knowing who's filling what box with whose stuff. And again, maybe it just becomes we're buying chalk together or we're buying something together.
And we don't want to throw money at the wrong thing if that's not what you need and it's not going to serve your needs.
I think the problem we go with boxes, they need, and then we can get together down the road and look at the other boxes. If we don't have enough in the general room, we need to replace all the boxes.
We didn't even vote on the first motion, so we could vote on the first. We could vote on the screen.
Yeah, the screen fees, you guys owe us for that one, so.
Where that's written.
A is this.
A is fine.
A is the screen.
Yes. So in the first one, A with the screens, looking for a motion to approve.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any more? I thought you had more discussion about that.
That was great.
Anyone else?
That's screens. What color are they? Sorry.
All in favor of the screens on A, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That passes. So Chuck, what do you want to do with?
You need that how many boxes altogether?
All right, so ours is written as 3, right? That's the current revision of our thing. So we have front, back at Simmons and Oak Tree Park. So Oak Tree would be getting rid of 2. I think we have 2 at each of the front and back. So we'd be getting rid of about 6 of our own.
Basically what you're asking for that because the shed to the shell boxes are $2,200.
Sorry, I didn't bring a copy with me.
Yeah, they're $2,200. Yeah.
And you're saying 3 of them.
Yep.
You need 3?
So that's $6,600 and the grants for $7,000.
No. We're going to change this motion to approve Bethel Park Baseball Challenge grant up to the amount of $3,300 for the purchase of the job.
Already 33, you're going to do 33.
No, change it either on the website. Or okay.
66 is the total.
And Susie, you're ordering them then? Thank you.
Can you help at all with the directs? You think they're about getting a better price, unless we want to pay more.
It's gotta go to council first.
Oh, okay.
Do you think it's more important to wait than? Sorry.
If I can present it to council, I'll say the same thing I said here, was we should be doing sheds, so, I mean, but, yeah.
But again, you said you never be out there looking at the plan.
Yeah, I love that. I
It'd be
love that.
better to go for this now, do look at, get people out there. I mean, you want to do what works for you guys. So like, if you just know you're gonna need the boxes anyway, then
I'm down for the idea of consolidating boxes, because I think the boxes have gotten out of control, so. And I think I can get the stuff that we're ordering, because we're ordering new liners and stuff that aren't even in this. That, you know, everything will fit in there in an orderly, all the safety equipment, extra helmets and stuff that would be the cleanest way to go, so. It's an expensive box, that's, you know, again, comparing it to other things, so.
Well, the only thing, so our board had already agreed, which now we put on hold, but we're gonna buy a second box for lower minors, because that's the hardest one to get stuff back and forth from. And we just removed, Suzie had them remove the old rusted one out of there, so we could buy a replacement that was way less expensive than this. But when this topic came up, it was like, well, maybe we use that as one of them, and then where do we put the rest of them? You know, again, I've got plenty that could be replaced, not that we were necessarily.
And I think if they're in good shape, Suzie, you were gonna paint some of them or whatever, so. Just you can paint them and maybe fix them up a little bit if they're in decent enough
Yeah,
shape.
the rust ones we have are the shorter ones that have the really just heavy latch lid. Really. And then we have the secondary ones that are more like that. They're smaller, but they're more like those. I think we have one at every one of our fields. So again, if we have a secondary one of those, okay, but.
So how many of these are there?
But if I'm replacing Simmons Middle and possibly sharing, I don't know, I could do one at Simmons Middle. We need one at Lower Miners. Two. I know our second box on Front Miners, the handle's broken off and it's rusted out, so we could use one up there. And then I guess we could put a fourth one on back, because we have another one that could go.
We're all together.
So it's $8,800.
That's $4,400.
I think,
88 total.
yeah, 4,400.
And so that's what we need right now for this year, regardless.
So
I
again,
need one at Lower Miners. The
Yeah.
other ones was.
Yeah, I
what
mean,
you do
the Oak Tree one would be ideal. That's my easiest one to fix up within, I think I can combine the other two, like we've been planning and improved on our boards end too, so.
So I guess the question is, what would you like us to vote on for each of you? And it can be different, you don't have to say the same thing, but what would you like from us right now to approve right now? And what would you like us to wait on so that you can do the comprehensive decision?
I'd say let's just move forward with this thing and we'll get together. If we can combine these other boxes and maybe we don't have to get front and back for you guys, and we'll talk about that and see what we can do.
So just vote on them as they are.
Yeah.
I think that's how they work too.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So you need 3 altogether.
3 and 4, so we're voting 7 in total. Chuck, do you want to rework?
Yeah.
That's 4,
Okay. I think Bobby fix. 2245 says, what you have right there?
20, whatever I have written.
2245, yep.
So,
Call them for 2.
So do you want us,
A bulk deal for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
so should we say the motion is half the cost of 3 boxes, whatever that comes out to be? I'm sorry, 3 for baseball?
Yeah, 3 for baseball, and I think she said 4.
Or south?
so the motion fee to approve the challenge grant application in the amount of $33,6750 for Park Baseball.
3367.50
Yeah.
that's for the baseball fee.
What's the softball 44 even?
490 at that,
44.90?
but.
Prices, you want to see?
C is 44.
44, yep.
C.
Good. All right, looking for a motion to approve the Bethel Baseball Challenge grant in the amount of $3,367.50 for 3 block boxes. Motion. Vince, Joel, any discussions, additions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Anyone opposed? Passes. C, looking for a motion to approve the job boxes for the Bethel Park Girls Softball Association in the amount of $4,490 for 4 lock boxes. Bono, Kelly second. Any discussions, additions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion passes.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Appreciate you taking
Yeah.
the time to do this.
Sorry it took so
So thank
long.
you. No, it's fine. Is that it? Is that all the motions? Is there another one? Okay, yeah.
Didn't call us when you asked.
I think that was already addressed, though, was it
It
not?
doesn't, yeah,
Location.
yeah, it was just location.
So
Do we need to?
Yeah.
Do it? Okay. Looking, the last one on D, looking for a motion to approve the recommendation to the municipality to place the job boxes in a secure area where possible. Lana, second. Russ, we're sure we were just kind of waved. No. Just any discussions, additions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Yeah, they're welcome to stay if you'd like.
Just real quick on this, since we pay for the L screens, is it just gonna be like off the top of this, or do we get a check for the half of that, or the L screen part?
Yeah, we're out, we're gonna be checking.
Yeah.
Voice and get ones. It's only
Half of whatever expensive.
And I think I sent you the receipt on that too, by the way.
You might have. Yeah, we didn't just.
Yep.
The original invoice in the
Yeah.
process.
So half of that, baby.
All right.
Good. Okay, moving on, unfinished business. For comments and concerns of board members or staff.
Oh, you guys voted last month to add the turkey trot and a couple other special events into the restricted fund. I just want to go to council, what is it? Just to add them in, or if we add them in and doing more events to go in the restricted fund down the line, or what's the? I don't want to, we just want to put it in the restricted fund.
I'm not sure I understand what your question.
We want that turkey trot coming like into the restricted fund. Is that the only ones we want to add in there, or do we want to do those plus keep doing other fundraisers to put in the restricted fund?
There are other fundraisers are gonna come up, right? I mean, when you're sure you have other things in mind than just the Booze Fest, right?
I thought the goal was, there wasn't really a reason why they were separated out, so we were just trying to combine them for simplicity. I don't think there was any other purpose, but just having all of our fundraisers go into
Go into
one
the
place.
restricted fund, okay.
Yeah, Chuck's question was, is it being able to, the stewards all are fine?
I'm sure there's gonna be other one.
I'd say all.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't see a reason why.
Yeah.
it looks straight.
Oh, and keep that, okay.
right?
yeah.
And fundraisers.
Okay, good. Moving on. You have anything else, Chuck?
One other thing, the rifle program. I'll bring it up in the workshop. Discussion for the workshop.
Anything else?
Nope.
Moving on. Considerations of bills and payroll that have already been paid and pending. Looking for a motion to approve the program expense report dated April 27, 2023. Vince second. Any discussions, additions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Anyone opposed? That passes. Looking for a motion to approve the personnel cost of March 31st, April 14, 2023. Ellen, Joel, second. Any discussions, additions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Looking for a motion to adjourn. Joel, Russ, that was good. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We're out. Workshops.
Okay, one item note in the workshop, we had discontinued the part two program. I think the officer, Hollis. Yeah, Hollis called me up Monday morning, said you can't do it. Rifle anymore. Rifle, learn to shoot, so. He gave me a blank email with the reason why, so we canceled right now.
So I talked to Dr. Walsh about that, and, all I know is basically, I don't think the intent is, it's that, I guess it was unknown to a lot of people, or we didn't go through the kind of process about insurance, who's liable in certain areas. And then also there's a standpoint of how we handle security, people coming into the building at different times of the day, how we secure the rifles. We inspect the rifles by the school police officers a couple times a year. And so there was just a whole bunch of loose ends that I think the district thought we need to work out before we offer this.
It's, that would be nice to be said this way, but.
Yeah, I just talked to Dr. Walsh, because I heard about it, and I think my questions about it.
Yeah, we can put it, I'll talk to my rifle guy, put in the way we do it, everything, and what we can do, because,
That's what was going on.
just given the current climate, the things that have happened in schools, they just felt it was best to.
I don't know what was happening in the schools.
We have a rifle program in the schools, yeah.
Okay, I know we've arranged it, but
Yeah, the rec department has done it for probably 40 years now, and it's, well, we gotta stop there, So I gotta get with Dr. Walsh, I guess, and I'll get our rifle teacher right perspective on exactly how we operate the class, so that they know more, so we can, restart the program. It sounds like they're willing to, me and Dan Sloan have spoken about, that's actually the feeder program for their rifle club, so, we just gotta go back, look and go, okay, this is everything we're gonna do, and give it to the district, so.
I mean, with the information you gave, it's been going on for a long time, it's probably just due to a lot of new people not knowing what's going on, they heard about it, and so, panicked a little bit there. When I talked to Dr. Walsh yesterday, the day before, he said it wasn't the intent that we're never going to do it. They just want to make sure that we got, all the insurance, the liability issues worked out.
Okay.
And as well as security. I mean,
Okay, yeah, we can discuss that. Anybody else got anything else? That's it? Can stop recording, Angie. It's officially over. Any updates on anything, Joe, from the municipal side?